Driving basics number 7, straight lining roundabouts. It's not illegal, and I don't personally hate it, but I also don't like it. Now, the reasons I don't like it is I don't think it's particularly unsafe, but it's a little bit selfish, and I'll tell you why it's selfish. I teach a lot of learners, and obviously learners are developing their skills. And we all know that once you've passed your test, that doesn't make you an amazing driver. You've still got to go out and get a lot of experience that you haven't yet had. And someone like me that's been driving 21 years, and obviously a lot of that as a driving instructor, doesn't really have too much problem in telling that someone that is straight lining a roundabout is about to leave the roundabout. I will still be cautious, but I don't have too much difficulty, and more experienced and more confident drivers will be the same. But we're not all out on the roads confident drivers, and we're not all, perfectly fine. Some of us have really bad anxiety, but we still have to drive, or maybe we still want to drive, and that's our right. And when I'm approaching a roundabout, if there's no one to my right, I might stick a little bit looser in the lane, which I will sort of show you. But I'm not going to straight line a roundabout. So I'm sure everyone knows, but straight line in a roundabout is where you go from the left lane on the approach to the right lane and then kind of cut across again as you exit. So I'm going to do that now as long as it's safe. I don't like doing this. I can't see well the other side of the roundabout, and that's what makes me not so keen to do it. But it's safe, so I'm going to do what the car in front has done pretty much. I'm going to go like this and then cut across. Now, not unsafe. That's the first thing I would say, and because I know a lot of people will do this. The car in front of me did it. But why I don't like it is because I teach learners all the time that struggle to know where you are going if you go ahead like that in the right-hand lane. My learners often don't have the reaction time yet to be able to go, oh no, they are going that way, I can go. They just see you in the right-hand lane and they want to stop. And it's not just learners that are going to feel that. It is going to be people that have anxiety and etc, etc. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I would do that roundabout if, like then, I had no one behind me. There's no painted markings on the roundabout. There are 2 lanes on the approach, and so I'm going to show you what I would do and why I would do it this way. Chickens. And that's a perfect example of it just there. I don't know how the dash cam captured that one. Even I was like, are they coming round? So I'm obviously ready, and I'm, as an experienced driver, I can react when they do finally put their left signal on and decide to exit. But one of my learners would have stopped for that car. They don't know where they're going, and I would want them to, show them that level of not trusting them. But that car came across from this, and it came in the right-hand lane as it came across, so you just can't tell where they're going up until very late. It's actually I find it quite annoying personally. There's no need for you to be in that position. A lot of roundabouts, of course, if there are 2 lanes on the approach and no markings telling you can't, you can go ahead in either lane, but you should use the left, and that's according to the DVSA official guide to driving. They're the people that make the rules. They're under the Department of Transport, of course, the people that run the driving tests, etc., and they write the highway code. And they tell us in that book that, look, essentially you can go ahead in either lane, but you shouldn't just go ahead in the right lane. You should use the left. And the biggest reason for me is it's so much clearer to everyone where you're going. So this time approaching the roundabout, we'll see what we've got behind us as to how we do this. So I'm going ahead, second exit. I'm well aware I've got traffic following me. I've got a black van. What I'm interested in is, do they put a right signal to go into this? I'm obviously going to use the left lane to go ahead. Now I'm going to stick to my lane pretty rigidly here because there's a lot of traffic behind me. So I'm going to come right over here and exit nicely. So I had traffic very close to me. Obviously, as I move on, I don't want to just be staring at that traffic. I want to be looking to the right, looking ahead. So it's easier and safer for me to take my proper lane position on that roundabout. That makes it a lot safer. So let's now see, driving basics number 6 was about people that get right up behind you and kind of push you off fast roads into turns. I don't want to take my turn on 2 wheels. I want to take it on 4 wheels. It's better for me, it's better for my car. So I'm going to signal to this guy nice and early. And I'm going to use my brake lights to tell him that I'm slowing down. And you can see him now, he's holding a distance, but he's really close. I don't like this thing. Looking around me, he's using these. This is ridiculous, honestly. That is just ridiculous. You can see him using the markings, broken white line. If safe and necessary, you can enter into it. There's no need for him to go into those markings. It's not necessary. He had a car coming towards us using the turn zone. So it is definitely not safe to use those markings. And for the sake of what? For the sake of 2 seconds, if that, and getting me out of the way. And this is why I did the video on this. It's really annoying. No, look, I find it difficult, but there's no gesture from me. There's no, beeping of the horn. I just carry on with my day. It's not for me to enforce, but I do find it annoying. And if you're like me and you find it annoying, it's because you're human. You're allowed to be human. As a driving instructor, I get annoyed by things, but it's just trying not to, try and show that restraint, not act on the road rage. There's the chicken again. Love it. No one was behind me. So it's all, God, that Norfolk, eh? God. But yeah, look, that's pretty ridiculous. There's just no need for it. It's just impatience. And that is, as I said in the video, the driving basics number 6, that is getting more and more common. And there's some really good comments on that video. Just as people were saying, don't let them affect your turn. I'm not going to go into that turn on 2 wheels just to please someone else. I want to I've got a nice car. I want to take it round and not wreck my car by pushing it all the way to one side with the G-force and ruining my tyres, wearing them out quicker. It's just not going to happen. So this time approaching the roundabout, there's going to be nothing behind me, but I am going to be thinking about less experienced drivers that could be coming on from the second exit where I'm going. And there's no paint on the markings, as we're saying. No paint on the roundabout. So I'm not going to be as rigid in my left lane as I was before, but I am going to make it obvious that I'm not going right. So no one on my right. As I move on, you can see it's a much looser line, but I've still got plenty of room from the inside of the roundabout. So really clear that I am going to exit the roundabout still. So that's just something I consider as I'm doing roundabouts like that where there is no paint. I do consider actually people that could be much less experienced than me and really need to benefit from the position in the road or on the roundabout that I take. And I could straight line a roundabout, but I see the effect that has on learners and less experienced drivers. And they really don't like it. They can't tell where you're going. They haven't built up that road knowledge yet. You never know, especially roundabouts you can't see over. They are designed that way so that you're meant to come in a bit slower because you could suddenly have someone come around the roundabout. And try and think about the person that is the other side of that roundabout. Is it someone that's as confident as you? I just think it doesn't take much in terms of our attitude to start thinking about other people a little bit more. So hopefully it gets people thinking. If you do straight line the roundabout, I'm sure you don't see it as much of a problem, but try and just think in these driving basics clips, really what I want to do is target mainly attitude. It's always going to come down to knowledge, understanding, skills, or attitude with any mistake that we make. I mean, we are human, we have to bear that in mind. But attitude is a big thing on the roads these days that can be lacking. And with your attitude, it's any rules that you break. You know, where does that stop? If you speed, for example, what else do you do? So hopefully that just gets you thinking about other people a little bit more. But let me know in the comments, you know, does it annoy you, straight lining? Do you see it as a problem? Do you do it yourself? Maybe if you can see over the roundabout and you can see there's absolutely no one coming towards you, do you do it, etc.? Or do you make a habit of at least making an effort to keep your position clear for everyone where you're going? Good to get the debate going. I really enjoy reading all the comments. Thank you if you do comment. That was Driving Basics number 7. I'll see you for the next one.